Alrighty, look at that. It worked first try. By that I mean the Elgato. But at least it did in fact do its thing. So we be glads for it. How did we wind up with that, not the other thing? What? What's up with that? Dang, these multipliers on multipliers on multipliers. Oops. All right. We got tingies to do. AQ's finished. Nice. Let's see. Let's take this. That is 5,000. That shouldn't be a problem, right? We can claim this and the 5K, right? We can. Let's do it. Zode! He's got the look. Let's go. Sup, Zode, and welcome back to being in the 4BGs, man. Let's see, do we claim these yet at the moment? This has got those. Hold off on that for a second. This one, same. Okay. What is expiring in 4 hours? Oh yeah, I was thinking of maybe trying to do a thing with that, but honestly, I might just use the other ones. It's fine. We can get rid of these. It's fine. It's to take user, yeah. Maybe. Oh, I've got crap tons of skill that needs using. Okay. I need to do war and stuff, but that's whatever. We'll 5 months. 5 months. Dang. No glory. Let's start with here so I can get these on cooldown real quick, and then do a BG match and kind of go from there. I mean, it's not great, but it's the little things that add up. I mean, 5 months of not great is better than where you're at. So that's all I'm saying. I mean, if you maxed out that's 25% of a tier 4 alpha a week you could have get, not including like what you get from rank 4s, just in the glory store. 5 months is 20 of those. That's 5 tier 4 alpha. Yeah, I mean, if you're a spender, obviously that's, kind of negates what you would have gotten, but I'm just saying. That's 5 tier 4 alpha just from AQ glory score you could have gotten in 5 months. So, well, even light spending on like an event like that we just had, like, netted you way more than the total AQ loss. So, like, it was pretty hard. Like the rewards slapped pretty good. Be pretty nice. I'm holding off as long as possible before buying Photon. I can open up one more 7-star before the store would go away. So I'm going to take that one last chance. If we do not get Photon from that, we're taking Photon. So yeah, one last chance at a Photon before we just take her anyway. Yeah, rank 4 waiting. I'll basically, after I'll be able to get a rank 4 basically with season 28 if I place in C5, because I could get to I wouldn't actually, because I wouldn't actually take that first, but like I think I would, and if I did do that, I could get a rank 4 from placing C5. Because by the time that the season finishes, I'm like that would be 2 catalysts, and then I'm not like I'm over halfway towards a third, or 1 at the moment, and then that would be 2 from the new Radiant store. So 5 T7B, dang! So you have almost enough for 2. If Hulkling is cosmic, oof. 4 rank 3s possible. I can do like 6 rank 3s right now. I've been holding off on for a bit. And then a rank 4, I only have the Science Gem 4, which is for Photon, so. Yeah, well, I need as many as possible so I can actually have rank 3s in my deck for any given meta. Basically. Because anytime I have like an Ascended champion, which I don't want to have unless they're like exceptional for the meta. But there are champions that are even like that I don't have even Ascended because I don't want to. Oh, what's up, Smickers? Because I don't want to take them up and ascend them because I want them as a 7-star and I would take them up to rank 3 as a 7-star and I don't want to have both. So, was a Nugget. Like it really wouldn't be like the biggest problem for me to have like, and you'd still be probably fairly useful as one of the biggest ones I'm missing right now. That would be super helpful for me to pull is Red Skull. Red Skull, he's like pretty solid defender, apart from like a couple champs that'll counter him pretty hard, but generally very, very solid. And he answers so much problems as an attacker. Like domino counter, he does the dot damage. He's got heal block, so he did really great for the like. He's like a permanent ban for me. Like and useful enough, like even as like a 6-star Ascended, but I haven't taken him up because like I want him as a 7-star and he would immediately go rank 3. So having Hyperion, I only just got Hyperion this last raid cycle. Yeah, I got him from one of the Valiants. I got 10 Valiants, and I would have complained about the Valiants had I not gotten a 7-star Hyperion out of it. Yeah, I'm missing Penny. I couldn't get Zola from the stupid Titan. I've opened up quite several. I didn't get Zola, but I do have a Koye. She's ranked up, unduped even, and she's just a monster. Does not need the dupe. Like I want it because like it's useful. Like you need the dupe to be able to for her to do mystics if you have your setup right. But I'm thinking I might go ahead and set it up, my deck up that way, or my masteries up that way once I get her duped. Once we get the extra mastery point, I might set my masteries up that way. I think it would be worth it because like she's strong enough. Like if I can use her also towards mystics, because there's basically no mystic she couldn't do, because there's no mystic with bleed and shock immunity. So she could do like all mystics with your mastery setup right, which she like just gnarly. Because that's really holding me back on her at the moment. Is not being able to use her for mystics. Otherwise, I love using her for as many fights as possible. Yeah, with Flesh Wound. Yeah, last my stream attempt at least was Wednesday, and I was just having so many problems, with the internet and stuff that I just ended up giving up on it. And then I was attempting to, and I was gonna keep it a secret, but since I ended up it not being successful, it doesn't matter. I went for the number 1 position for a light essence in the arena. That was an attempt I made last week, the end of the weekend. And there was some other stuff on top of that was like I wasn't, able to stream anyway. But it'd been rough, like trying to keep up on the arena the way I was and stream it as well. So missed out on first, unfortunately. But at the very least, it got me battle chips, and also now I know with my current roster as it is what I could do points wise in arena, like what I'm capable of doing. A little bit of a rip. So the only way, unfortunately, I get a 7-star Lumitrix is if I play C4 in Season 28. No Sigil hurts? Not especially, apart from, like, Sigil is basically the reason I don't have level 63. Like, if I've had Sigil since Sigil was a thing, like, I'd have 63, basically, because, like, that happened, like, this last week. Yeah, I ended up 5th in the arena. So I ended up 5th, which is pretty close. I gave it a solid effort. Yeah, so I'm assuming there's got to be more refined experience in Valiant EQ next month, which will help alleviate some of it, because otherwise it'll take a month more of dailies, a month and a bit actually, of dailies, for me to get to hit level 63. So Sigil is like already put people a month ahead of what you can have free to play. Unless there's like in the next month extra experience. But otherwise, yeah, it's about a month ahead at the moment. Ooh, I hope not. What I'm hoping is that, like, if you're Valiant, it's automatically unlocked, and doing it will also be a secondary way to unlock the Paragon gauntlets. If they want to keep Paragon Gauntlet locked, have doing Valiant also unlock it. So that way, Valiant people can do both, but don't have to also go through Thronebreaker. It depends on what their setup for a Valiant difficulty is. If it's going to be like a full difficulty, like Thronebreaker, or if they're going to have it a shorter thing, like the Paragon Gauntlet. So we'll have to see. Shoot. I mean, yeah, it should just be straight unlocked for Valiant players, but if they want to keep it locked, just so they don't have to like extra tweak their system, that's already in place for how it is, just have like an extra token. That way they wouldn't have to making it easier for them to make as minimal changes as they need to, so they don't screw something up in the process, is better, quite frankly. I don't mind it being locked if they have an extra way of unlocking it for Valiant players. That with Valiant difficulty makes it easier. Because I would still probably do at least a single run through of Thronebreaker just for the completion rewards, and then save the energy I wouldn't be using there because I normally 100% it, and get the other stuff done. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, and it's probably locked more so because of not even like the rewards of it, but because it's shorter, like because it's only just 6 energy, the 6 fights. They didn't want to just have that be unlocked and have people just do that only and not care about having to, just because they need engagement. They want people logging in to play, and if people can just log in, do that, and that's the only thing they're going to do monthly content wise for the month without having to do anything else that would take any time whatsoever. Like I see a reason for it. It just kind of sucks for people that if it was just unlocked, that would be all they did. So But I get it. I do. Let's see, Flesh Wound, I missed that. Sorry, I somehow missed a couple things here. So let's see, Super Lucky, Pulls, Titania, Gentle, Sim Supreme, and Asben. Nice. Asben's solid. And since he isn't in the Heart of Fire, he's still 6-star locked. So that's solid. See, Bastion from 300 gambled on one of them. Got the 6-star from one? Dang, dude. This fight, why is this fight sucking so hard? I kind of wish I had the the way to test him, because like I hate fighting him. But for the most part, I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily like using him that much. Like they have him in their deck. I've never had anybody like use him offensively versus me, but I've fought him on defense. The Red and Dead, you can get 1.57 million, so 1,570,000 total. I am sitting at 1,495,000 at the moment. The other 75,000 I can't get yet because it's in the weekly web store. I have to wait until Thursday to get it. Yeah, and then because you have to be mindful of it, because if it doesn't kill them, you take that damage, and then obviously you're slowed down, and you took damage, which is bad. Yo, sometimes. Unawaken, though, I don't know what a SIG does exactly. Something about, like, I think it reduces his damage taken or something like that, maybe? I don't know. I don't know, man. Yeah, he only recalls at max, but the last one is also the most potent one, which is why you take a recoil in the first place. So you do significantly less damage if you don't at least attempt to be willing to take the recoil, because it's substantially more damage, which is why you kind of want to use it in Battlegrounds, because if you don't use it, it's definitely not going to kill, and it slows you down. But if you go for it and it doesn't kill, you take the recoil damage.
11 donated $11
Yo,
and 11 cents.
With the 1111, Heinz, you madman. Let's get you up there. Heinzies. Bam, look at that. Goated for sure. Whoa, that was my fault. I was grinding Arena, so I just from doing Arena, I got all the milestones from that. In fact, we could look at how many points I have towards that. It's very much so in excess because of how much Arena I did. Obviously, not even all of it was during the event, because the event didn't start till Friday, and I had already been deep in the Arena at that point. But still, like, I maxed it out in like half a day, just from Arena. Yeah, the one thing though about doing Arena, especially like earlier on, is there's fewer champions and stuff, is you learn the champions you have, generally if you're using your top end champions, and you learn a lot of animations. So like anybody you fight, you get to know their animations, their abilities a little bit, depending. I mean, abilities are more complicated and generally take time to take effect. So nowadays, even if you fight a newer champion, you're not even gonna get the hang of their newer abilities so much, but you might learn a couple animations that helps. So, and it's, at least get fundamentals down. Get your parries, certain dexes, special timings, all that jazz. But ideally, you're wanting the fights to end fast enough. You're not baiting out a special. And recoils, you'd never have to, generally speaking, because stuff will die soon enough. However, if you're not running recoils and you attempt to do arena, well, you're probably going to have to bait out at least one. So, Symbiote Supreme. I don't like him most of the time. Like, he's kind of painful to use unless you're fighting a pretty buff heavy champion. And if you don't have MD on, especially like high MD, to work with him in combination with that, also doesn't feel as good. So like he's very strong, like don't get me wrong, especially if you have MD on and in high buff situation. Like he is really good damage. But just like in a very generic setup, if you're fighting someone with no buffs, in which case MD doesn't matter, he is very painful to use. Yeah. The only time, like the most fun I think I've ever had with a Symbiote Supreme was I had him in my team to do the one of the Karina's challenges in Abyss, and he did the Venom the Duck fight, and yeah, it would have been Venom the Duck, Champion, and Hyperion, all of which he kind of knocked out of the park, and it was great because there's buff champions, Venom the Duck especially. Infinite nodes get infinite buffs, yeah. I don't know, some of the more problematic stuff is like what would normally be buffs is like a passive. So like he just doesn't interact with it if it's like node specific, and then so it's literally you have to have the champion itself have buffs innate to them. Because a lot of nodes have been like made passive stuff, which is kind of annoying. Yes, I like them. All right, please just throw that quickly. Honestly, that's one of the most annoying things about this dude defensively is like him throwing special ones if you don't want him to, or not throwing a special when he's at a special two. Coated. Yeah, must be cold if she's coated. Yeah, Legacy loves him. He just was never one I ended up having at a high level. Like the highest level one I had really was when I got him as a 4-star. I maxed him out, and then I never used him outside of arena. Miss Lumitrix. I will miss Lumitrix. I mean, I have the tokens. I will get him as a 6-star at bare minimum. But the only way I get the 7-star is if I play C4 next season, and then I will get the 7-star. Because that'll give me enough tokens. But if I can't play C4, then I will not get the 7-star, unfortunately. Which makes me sad. Yeah, well, I'm using him now because he's a maxed out 4-star, but come on. Yeah, this just didn't work. I was gonna connect too. Freaking jerk face. So basically everyone, if you're Valiant, you get Lumitrix. If you're like doing the thing, if you're playing the game, you get Lumitrix as a 6-star, but Valiants don't generally care about 6-stars. So basically they gave 6-star out for free, but if you wanted the 7-star, had to pony up some cash or just do extraordinarily well in Battlegrounds. Because really what it would have taken is placing C5 twice for the 2 seasons that he was going to be there. And coming first in an arena, which is why I made the attempt to. But I missed C5 last season anyway, which means I was going to be short. Come on. Or placing at least C4 or better. So. Cool. And if I were to buy it, it would, Heinz, yes, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't actually pick it up if you did. I'm weird like that with the monies, but it's a little like my own peculiarity, if you want to call it that. I'll call it that at least when it comes to things like that. I wouldn't even say it's on principle. It's strictly that I'm just weird that way. Yeah, I mean my initial Labyrinth of Legends run, which should be on the channel somewhere, maybe, was 4-star Star-Lord, same as Legacy. Legacy did it his initial Labyrinth run with a 4-star Star-Lord. Did better than I did with it. Used a lot less resources than I did, but yeah, a lot fewer did Labyrinth with a 4-star though, because I didn't have the 5-star at the time. And then I was after Blade to do one of the other specific paths. Couldn't get Blade, so I ended up not 100%ing it. I did 4 of the 7 paths with Star Lord. Once I did get the 5-star, I did 3 other paths with the 5-star, and then I did the last 3 paths with Aegon. 5-star rank. No, you needed at least a rank 4 to get the extended timer. Because I think you needed rank 4 and a team that gave him like a couple extra synergies for extra attack to get it long enough, because his base attack isn't high enough. Rank 4 is what you needed for it, I believe. I could double check that, but I'm pretty sure you needed rank 4. Hold on, I can confirm that real quick. Because you just have to look at Star-Lord and what his base attack is at... shoot. Give me a second. I'll find this out. Star-Lord gets rarity 5-star, rank 4 Let me look at attack. Ooh. Yeah, I need to be at least rank 4. That base attack is 17 to 5, and then what did he need for? Hold on, what do you need for synergies? So 1705, and then divided by 2,000. Yeah, and then he needed synergies to give himself another basically 20% attack to get the 2,000 you need for the extended timer. So I'd have to double check my team because I don't remember what I use exactly for the synergies. Pretty sure that's correct. Yeah, Emin and Yellowjack gave like a few. You needed at least 18% to get the 2K. I almost actually let him hit into my phase, not thinking, oh shoot. Anyway. And Tress is, yeah, I looked actually when I was doing that on the previous one. I saw that you came in first on the previous one for the spider one. Very impressive. And congratulations on first there. I put up 180 mil. Came in 5th. I was hoping, one reason I did it on a non-featured champion was hoping that like first would go a little bit lower, potentially at least. There was like no shot going for a featured, because at least if you miss, you still got the featured, you know, of like a new champion, as opposed to just such an old garbage champion like Winter Soldier. But you know, what did you put up for the featured one? It's like probably over 250, right? I would imagine. You don't have to say the exact number. It was like if it was over 250, yeah. I didn't actually look who actually did place first. I just clicked on it to see what place I was in, and it was still calculating because I checked it like only an hour after the arena ended. Yeah, over 250. Yeah, I kind of figured. Under 3 though. Okay. Yeah, it would not have been possible for me to go that high. I could have, in theory, gone over 200. And that might have been able to do enough. For that arena specifically, at least, but already it was a good bit. So yeah, definitely not been realistic for me to have done that high. Like I couldn't have done it no matter what I did. So because I still did more. Like I did 6 full runs of all my 7 stars, and then two-thirds of a 7th run on Sunday before the arena ended, as well as 6 runs of all well, not technically not all of my 6 stars, but 50 rounds of viable. First with 210. Interesting. Well, apart from the title specifically, though, that was weird. Like looked like a blip there for a second. But the light essence, I figured, at least somewhat a slight incentive to maybe let's see, you would make your videos go viral and same content, but new viewers within twice. Yeah, that's a fair point, Flesh Wound. I can't take that the wrong way. Like I don't disagree with you. I'm just too lazy to make an actual thumbnail. Just the time it would take me. All right, well, have yourself a good one, man. I appreciate you stepping in. So I basically just like it. Whatever the thumbnail is, whatever is like it shows up as whatever I'm currently in. And then when it becomes a VOD, like it's like whatever is what happened during there. I don't make like a specific thing for it. Let's see, went hard for that using for the first arena, but didn't make more because I've already used the champions on an old arena. Way too. Gotcha. I think I understood what you were trying to say there. I think maybe. But yeah, so it was 610 rounds that I played in towards the featured arena. 610 rounds in the featured arena, which was a lot. It was more than I had ever put up by a lot, by a pretty large margin. So it was definitely a little bit loss of sleep for a few days in the process of doing that, but it was all right. Sucks to miss, but like I wanted to at least attempt it to see what would happen, because even getting that piece, just one placement of C5 wouldn't be enough. I need to place C5 twice and get a piece from arena. So even if I made it, if I only got C5, I'd have to do it in the arena twice. So I needed to see, like, if I did get it, I'd be willing to try it again if I only hit C5. But now it's basically like C4 or bust for the Lumitrix. So that's where I'm at. So I needed to see, like, what was possible. Play 16, yeah, dude. Yeah, it's yeah, 180 mil. I got fifth on a non-new champion, which the minimum to like get the 6-star of like a non-featured probably would have been like 35 mil, you know. But you only need, dude, the brand new 7-stars go so low now. You literally need 70 million points and you'll get a brand new 6-star of the brand new featured champions. So I need the 3 from C4 to make it, because it would have been 1 from C5 twice, which is 2, and then 1 from Arena is 3. Is what I would have needed, but since I missed it last season, like I said, so 402 really for that low, dang. Like 70 mil is like easy and safe to get the brand new one. Like honestly, and she's good enough. I would have thought maybe she would have been like one of the slightly higher ones, if if anything, because 6-stars don't really matter that much. If the champion itself like isn't that good, they're gonna go lower. But since she's also like pretty solid, you'd think she would have gone closer to 70. But dang, basically getting it for 50, dang. Less than like literally 1 round away. Dang. That's insane. sucks, dude. I've been one position off before. Like early on in MCOC, I did a lot of a lot of arena, like in the first couple months of playing the game. Which this was back like when it functioned differently. Like you were in completely different brackets for like the first month you played. You weren't competing against people that had been playing already for however many months a year. And I was one position off of a featured 4-star my first or second month of playing. So I did the reading again, and this was actually so old, so long ago. This was back for 4-star Loki. Like I missed Loki by one position, and then I did the arena like for the second round, and I got him the second round, but missed him round 1. What the heck? Okay, I was like, what happened here? That was weird. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, again, because it's only given to the very number one person. I don't think it shows far enough back. Yeah, no, it still shows it. So if I look at the leaderboard here, you got second. Okay, what did you put up on the last one then? Zerafa tried again. Okay, I didn't realize you were second. Okay. So the one you got it, you put up between 250 and 3. What was this one? Like how close was I? Obviously under Hoodoo. But yeah, I did 180. But went for it again. Dang. What I kind of wish 280. Really? For this one you did 280? So I wasn't even close. Zerafa also did 180. So I basically tied with Zerafa. Heydu. Did you look up this account, Heydu? It's a level 63 account. So it's like an achievable sort of 100 mil less. So you're saying he did 380? I mean, doable, but only in the fact that like if you look at highest win streak 885. I mean, only if he lost it. Like if he kept a streak for the whole round, like 885 is not going to do it. Not even close. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. I purposefully lost my streak because I would have given myself a new highest win streak doing 600 and 600 rounds. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to leave it what it was. Because I have it at an even 555 right now as my highest win streak. And I wanted to keep it that way. I didn't want it to go up. So I purposely lost my streak and then used similar ones to get it back for the next time my champ cycled through. Yeah. I only lost a couple fights outside of purposefully losing the streak the whole time. See, Heinz gets it. See, like I'm not just I'm not like I have principles, obviously, but like there's certain things that I'm just weird about, okay? Like don't judge me. I have not been doing well in the off season, to be honest. Like trying to do the like I got it first try yesterday, or 2 days ago rather. Yesterday I lost one before I got the win. 3 days ago, lost one before I got the win. And I got it. So it's like every other day I'm losing my first match for some reason. We should have all of the featured arenas through May giving it, I believe. I don't know for sure because they didn't give us a date. They just Kabam just said that it changes in June for the next Essence. So I would assume all of the arenas through May will have it in there. You can always just double check all the next arenas, but yeah, it should be all the way through May. You're missing currently 4. Well, we get one more from May's raid, one from Victory Track, and if you place top 100, that's another one. So, where am I at? I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of you, and you. Messiah, yo! Welcome, buddy. Can't say, like, this is the important information to have. Like, they're so stingy on. It's so annoying, dude. It's like unbelievable. It's so obnoxious. They don't like letting people know. So. And the only reason I'm even that close is because of the raid compensation giving an extra one, basically, if you did it. So. See, that I understand, not revealing somebody else's score in the arena, but like I would like ask them to check to see that it was legit, and if it wasn't, I don't know how they check that. I mean, they have enough data; they should be able to, in some fashion, be able to. But other than that, don't know. I missed it from the first raid. Dang. Bummer. So you ended up missing 2 then from that, because if you weren't in it or didn't do the nightmare ones, because it's in both. Like you had to be doing the nightmare one though to get the comp. Let's see. I need another defender. No, I do not. So we want attackers. Perfect. Oh, this is great. This is great. This should work. Gotcha. All right, so one thing, he does not have what I want. So this is actually for a defensive role, so you get you. Which he could probably silk, but given the extra power gain, is going to be slightly annoying. This one I wanted. I wanted the pig for this onslaught. Gonna Kushala it. Kushala could Yeah, actually, Kushala could do that. She could do it last meta, so yeah, that makes sense actually. Saving Silk for Onslaught then. Come on. Bruh. Can you cooperate with me, please? Dude. Okay. That was definitely my fault, but... Alright, now I need you to throw that. Oh, I knew I missed that. That was my fault. Alright. Pig would normally be quite a bit better, I think, this meta with the power gain. But oh, it's actually a little bit of a pain with versus Onslaught here. Come on. Oh, throw that. Thank you. Okay, stupid unfazed, bro. I'm timing out here, bro. Okay, that was my fault. Well, that went terribly. That went substantially awful. Yeah. That was so bad, though. I should have gotten so much better. Yeah, that seems a little sus, to be honest. Dang. Dude, if I didn't eat, like, what, 3 special 2s, I would have won that. That's so dumb. I got my opponent down, and they didn't. It's annoying. That's supremely annoying. I'm gonna do it this way, actually. Problem is, like, this, the power efficiency one is gonna be a little bit annoying here. This is only a rank 3, though, at least. Ooh, okay. Okay, that was my fault. Okay, lag galore. I forgot about the I actually really don't like her that much this meta because the I forgot about the power. I forgot about the relic power train. uh, hey, we got that one at least. Phew. Yo, what's up, Beefcake? All right, I think we got him beat then because he's got like nobody for thing. All years. How old are you? Wait, what? Schnurpin. This should be good. This should be good. Terraxing thing? That is a terrible idea. It'll never work. It's armor break immune. I will read through that in a second here, Heinz. I can't focus on it well enough to comprehend it while I'm doing this. All right, go ahead and throw that. Thank you. Come on, big critties. Oh, bummer. Bruh. Dang, dude. He threw one special the whole time. That was great. That was fun. I'm honestly surprised he survived 2 special 2s, though. Ratings, but GC increasing bracket size is going to make it easier, harder, no change for the next season, please. C6, I think, will be slightly easier because of the increase in bracket size. However, because of the introduction of Radiance, and obviously I think C4 might be easier as well, just because more people. The matchmaking in itself will also make things slightly better, and it'll change how people can grow. Because near the end, right now, and for it'll still prevent the problems of parking a little bit. Because right now, near the end, where a lot of people would just park, it makes it very hard to find matches when I'm trying to push, when I'm not already up there. So the people that are still trying to push those like couple extra brackets, I will be able to match them if they're hitting their like timeouts, because then I would be closer and more likely to match them if I'm looking. If not, otherwise I would match people that would be above me still, and I'm not matching people below me getting less points. That was like the side note. However, because of the changes and having Radiance, people that wouldn't normally be pushing for those spots right now, namely like the Celestial spots, will be playing for it. Like Legacy hasn't pushed in a while, and so that'll be another person. Like people like him that just like didn't care about the rewards enough before will now also start be pushing. And how many more people like that that'll make C6 as a bottom more competitive than it already is. Thank you, Zode, for the shout out in the chat, though, by the way. Yeah, he had nobody for thing. That's why I went for it the way I did here, because if I won this round, like he had no shot here. I countered all of his defenders in the next round. So that was good, which means we get our points. Let's go. Fantastic. Let's see. Did I move in here yet? I think I did. I did not. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see, where's my daily? Has this moved yet? No, it resets in half an hour. Okay, so it resets at 5. All right, let's do different arena because I haven't started the other 2 yet. So let's have at it, I guess. Why not? I'll have at it with this one to start with, I guess. So we'll see. Because it's a new system with Radiance and how valuable it is, it's going to be really hard to say for sure exactly how people are going to feel about it, especially in its first iteration. But the store in its first iteration, far more valuable than I was expecting it to be perfectly honest. And I didn't realize they were completely like I know knew this was the introduction of Radiance. What I didn't know is that they were completely, and one reason why the store seems as good as it is that they completely removed all other rewards from BG placement and converted it all to Radiance. So there's no other trophy tokens, there's no shards, relics, anything in there. So all that got converted to Radiance and subsequently made it to the store, and the value of it in the store for what you would have gotten at any of those placements is way better. Because even placing at the very bottom, like if you placed Uru 3 in that placement where you would have placed normally, even though you don't get that much Radiance, the Radiance you do get is far more valuable than what you would have gotten that low hitting GC before with what that gives you. By a lot. It's not even close. Very smart. That's what I try, Miles. I do, because I play BGs. That is my mode. So like my rank ups are very specifically tailored to that. And then whatever I rank up for that helps basically anywhere else I want to play. So I don't have to do rank ups for any other content. I'll either use a lower rated champion or, I have the rank up already because I've ranked them up for Battlegrounds, So I have most champions. There's a few I'm missing, but I have most champions. I basically have an option for any content that gets dropped. All right, Messiah, have a good one. Appreciate it. We finally got Dust. Oh my gosh, I need to get her ranked up. She's gonna go to rank 3. I just haven't done it yet. I do want to see Heart of Fire stuff, what we get all from that and everything. And one way or the other, we are getting Photon, and she is going to rank 4. I've got one more 7-star chance before the pool shield store closes. That I can open before that. So if I can get a Photon, we'll select somebody else from the selector. Either way, I'm getting a selector champion. But I'm putting off as long as possible to see if we can't still get Photon from a normal crystal, so I can select somebody else. Wow, I ended up with way more energy than I thought. I know he's got buffs, but I don't have MD on this build, so dang. So I'll have a 7-star either probably Wednesday from the milestones for the victory track, and then from there we'll if we don't get Photon, we'll take Photon and rank her up as far as we can get with Science ISO. And if I don't have enough for her to get to rank 4 with the ISO I have in Science, we'll have to wait until basically Heart of Fire. That'll give me a crap ton more ISO from all those crystals. So, because I do have crystals I could open to get more ISO for Science specifically, but since I am going to be opening up for Heart of Fire, I don't want to do that on top of that and have ISO that I won't be able to use and have to sell. So, I'm waiting on that. Fingers crossed, yeah. Because if we can get Photon from a basic, that means I can take Sentinel, which would be great, actually. For this current season, what I'm thinking, because I did want to do a tech rank up, and I initially wanted to do, oh crap. Okay, we're good. Dark Phoenix should be next month, I believe. The event should, the quest for her should be next month, I believe. And then you need 75 per gotten. So easy 75 plumes, free to play. And if you want the dupe, you would need 150, which you cannot get free to play. And it would take actually a decent bit of spending to get to 150. So, because I think I actually have an extra of the dark plumes that I won't have to buy any more when the store resets for the Mysterium store. I shouldn't have to buy any more, and I still think I should have one extra, which means I bought one too many, unfortunately. But what are you gonna do? So I'm not sure what is gonna happen to leftover plumes. If those will get like converted or just go to dust, I don't know. I have no idea. They've not said, as far as I know. It'd be nice to know what happens to any excess plumes. I need to get somebody to ask in the CCP. Actually, would be great because I'm actually curious to know. Because if it converts to something useful, I will go ahead and buy the extra plumes anyway. If it can convert to like 7-star shards or something, even if just like a little bit. See, how much would it have to convert to make it worth it, though? It would have to be per plume. It'd have to be like 500. Yeah, it'd have to be about, well, 300 shards a plume would make it worth picking up the extra 5, because that would be 1,500 shards. Obviously, any more than 300 would be great, but 300 minimum. If it was anything less than that, I wouldn't buy it. So if Fabdo pops in here, I'll maybe have him ask in the CCP what happens to excess plumes that you can't use to open the gate for Phoenix. Or if you don't get enough to open the gate, like what happens to those plumes? If those get converted to 7-star shards or something. That would be good to know. Buy Sentinel? No, I did not, Shred. And I'm not going to. Dang. And I'm not going to unless we get Photon from Basic. I have decided I'm going to go ahead and take the Photon because of how useful she's going to be for me. I'm gonna get Photon instead. If we get Photon from a Basic before the store ends, which is why I haven't bought either of them yet, I will take Sentinel if we get Photon ahead of time. But I have yet to have gotten her, so. But otherwise, I am going to take Photon because I can rank 4 her. So, because she'll be amazing to have for this next season of BGs, more so than a Sentinel that I would only take to rank 3. So, Sentinel will be mostly defensive, usable offensively, but mostly defensive, whereas Photon will be dual threat for the whole month for me. So, which I appreciate. No, I won't be able to get the shards for a 7-star. I'm close, but I won't be able to do it until the BG season starts, and I get enough shards from the victory track. Which actually, I could technically open up 2 7-stars. If I went ham enough before the store, and I went through all of the victory track and got the 7-star shards from the solo event, because that's still going to be going on for one more season, I could actually open up 2. I could open up 2 7-stars because I'm close enough. The whole victory track gives a full 1, and then I only need a handful of shards that I could get from the solo event. So I could actually open up 2 before the event ends if I go hard on it. And that would be possible. So I might do that. I would open up at least one, maybe two. If I can have that happen. We'll see. But that definitely wouldn't happen Wednesday. Store ends Friday morning. So if I was gonna open two, I'd have to push hard Thursday. So, but Wednesday we'll be able to open up the one at least. So we will go ahead and do that. And then I will decide Thursday whether or not I'm going to attempt to get the second one or if I'm just going to get Photon. It would depend on how much effort it's going to take. Because it would take a lot of points, I think, to get enough. I'd have to double check the solo event to see how many points I'd need. Because given how they kind of flip-flopped the necessity of what I would want to do, I'm going to see what I can do alliance milestones, alliance-wise. They nearly doubled the amount of score difference I can get for alliance points, given the points multiplier in the GC. So I'm going to save Eldritch Marks. Normally I would start with Eldritch Marks and just blitz through that to try and get the highest win rate in Victory Track, because that's where my highest win rate would be. And technically, because we're not pushing, because the Alliance reward still hasn't been buffed, so we're not pushing, it would still be smarter technically to not do that for me, because the solo event is still going on, and my score in that will go down if I save the marks for the GC, because my win rate with them will go down. But I want to see what, without changing anything else, but flipping it, see what would be possible in the Alliance event score. What I would, given what I would normally do for it. So, so that when it is buffed, I know like what an appropriate like minimum should be for us. So, all marks all the time, yeah. So, and then I've got 26. So we'll probably leave ourselves with like 32. Probably. So that's probably what I would do. We'll see. We'll see these. I think I lost my train of thought when I was talking about a tech rank up earlier. I was initially wanting for a tech rank up when I was thinking of rank 3s about what I'd want to do, but I was waiting for like the meta and stuff to be announced and everything. Was Prowler, and I wanted to take a Prowler, but I don't think he'd actually do me as good given the full stun immunity meta that he would be applicable to for the GC, because he cannot shock or bleed, so he'd have to play stun immune the whole time. Should make it slightly harder for him to. He wouldn't be unusable, but it would be harder to get his initial incinerate off. You have to be able to heavy counter, and you have to block bit heavy, which is not the worst thing, but meh. I think what would be more valuable probably is if I go ahead and awaken and rank up Stark Spidey over doing Prowler to rank 3, especially since Prowler would need a higher sig than what Starkey would need for him to benefit. Problem is they're both tech, and I would have to give it Starkey at least some sigs, and they both want sigs, so Heart of Fire. Okay, so it would be Fam and Nick Fury, I would say, and Tigra, I guess. Actually, I really don't see there being all that much value in APOC. Useless as an attacker for the most part. I mean, you'd have an occasional meta where you could use him as an attacker, but for the most part, he'd be useless. As a defender, The only thing he's really got going for him is long special animations and um, a decent health pool. Um, I don't. I've never really liked him for Battlegrounds. I never ranked him up as a 6-star. I never had an issue with him in other people's decks for that very reason. Like I never really saw him as much of a threat generally. Um, Now there could be a meta where like the nodes would make it so where his specials either be more annoying, or what have you. Like if there's like a proximity kind of meta, or if there was like a problem from dashing back too many times sort of meta, where that gave them like an unblockable or something, he'd be more of a problem. But right now, dude, he's literally Colossus is immune to all 3 of my champions. This is so annoying, bruh. So Nick Fury, mostly defensive, but at that level, if you're running deep wounds, he could actually see some usability on offense again. Whereas right now, because he's 6-star locked, he's not viable as an attacker. He just doesn't have the output. Like he's just too slow for the bigger health pools of rank 3s, rank 4s. He'd still be mostly a defender, but he could actually be at least viable on attack again as well, which is nice. Which because he can actually do bullseyes. So if doing an equal fight bullseye, because right now trying to do a rank 3 bullseye would suck, just flat out. So he could actually at a rank 3 he could do rank 3 bullseyes, and it wouldn't be like the worst thing. Obviously, if you had him rank 4 and then you're punching down to a rank 3 bullseye, even better. Doing equal ranks would be realistically the worst you'd want to do with him. So. But yeah, Tigra and then Tigra as an attacker. Unfortunately, I really wish Tigra wasn't in there. I really do. It's so unfortunate. I hate how strong she is when used by people that know what they're doing. Like I'm okay with her. Like I can do some of the things, but she never seems to do as much damage as other people get out of her, generally, whenever I try and use her. And the main one for me that I really dislike specifically is the Serpent one. I hate Tiger versus Serpent. It never goes well for me, ever. But people do that fight, finish full health, and it's like 40 seconds. And I'm like, with a 6-star. So like people are gonna rank 3 or rank 4, have her as high as possible. Like she'll do that to serpents again, and it's kind of annoying. Because a lot of their damage comes from burst, which Serpent reduces. Like my special 2s never do anything to Serpent, ever, because he reduces burst damage. How other people do that fight so well is like beyond me. Like it's obnoxious. That and Serpent never cooperates with me whenever I'm using him. Like the spacing, timing. Like if I try and heavy counter him, I'm always clipped by it. Like my heavy just never goes off fast enough. And if you take the time to put him up to special 2 to heavy counter the special 2 with the phase, like the fight's taking longer, and then it's like, and the last 2 times I tried it last season, like she didn't fail the stupid immortality at the end. Like it's still triggered because there's a 25% chance of that happening. And it happened twice in a row to me. It's annoying. Which means I ate a special 3. Go Canada! it's obnoxious though, it really is. And there's a lot of other matchups she's good for and will be even better for, given. I would personally probably like to do block proficiency as a stat focus, but I could see, crit rate or even special attack increase doing quite well for her. If you know what you're doing, because people that know what they're doing, like, they don't take much block damage anyway, which is like crazy to me. But, like, whenever I try and bait out a heavy, they do a full combo to my block first, It's like, oh yeah, I love Fam way more, and he's a dual threat, which is even better. And he's just more fun to use than Tigra is. But Tigra is kind of annoying to use, personally at least. Fam is way more satisfying. I don't mind APOC. APOC, I'm not crazy about him personally, but I don't mind him coming as a 7-star because other people can be happy about him and enjoy that, and that's not going to affect me at all. Whereas Tigra is a problem. Tigra does affect me in a negative way. Nick Fury is only a positive for me. I don't see iBomb as a negative. I like him, and then Fam is obviously will be annoying offensively used against me or defensively. But I want to have him for both of those things, and so he's a net positive reaction to me. But Tigra's not. Tigra's a net negative for me. Shathra, I'd say both. Now I don't think Spiral is bad to have at your highest possible rank. So like I don't see her being bad as like a rank 4. Because she's a bit of a slight dual threat. Not that she's like necessarily dangerous if you know how to fight her, because if you don't mess up fighting Spiral, she's not that bad to fight. However, because she messes with what you can do for your combo, she's really slow to fight. So it actually makes her a defender for BGs, which is nice. But generally, you want to use her offensively because she's just gnarly. But yeah, for specifically for like Battlegrounds, him and APOC for me are bottom of the list to pull. Even though I don't like Tigra being in there, she'd be more useful to me to pull than an iBomb. But I'd much rather have an iBomb than a Tigra. But because of BGs, like if I had to pick between the two, iBomb would have to take the cut. He's a little bit more on the niche side. I always loved when BG would like use iBomb in his deck and like just kind of do things in Battlegrounds with his iBomb because he had him, and would always, more often than not, even though he's slow, because he was so good with iBomb, would win those fights. Heart of Fire Champs is not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, the 7th. So, a week from this Wednesday. We should find out all the details of the event, I would hope. Should be announced on the live stream Friday. So we should find out all the details of the event then, I believe. So we have that to look forward to. Beautiful. The event was Friday now. Now we still have another week in a couple days. Feels like it should be this week, but now it's out another week. and then it should last a week. So we'll have all of the units possible this week, which is so 1,000 units in arena this week, 1,000 units in arena next week, and then another 500 I could get if I hit all the milestones before the event would end Wednesday morning the following week. So that would put me, I'm at 3,000. Basically, so another two, that's about 30. I could end up with about 32,500 before the event ends. We'll see how it all winds out, but I didn't plan as going as deep as I would ended up doing on the event either. But then I like kept getting closer and more stuff, and I was like, screw it, and I maxed it out. And I went back, checked that video, and the event details and stuff. It it'll have to have a rank 4 in it to have enough value in it for sure. Because 6 stones are more available than they ever were. We had just all of the rank 4 stuff available for the spend, plus the rank 4 for 9.2 completion you could have gotten. If I went back and double checked, it was, what did I say that number was? Did I keep it on the calculator? I did not. It was what, 27,600 units was the minimum spend effort for the or the net spend rather to get the rank 3 gem last year. So so they'd have to seriously change up the cost, like milestone structure, because obviously what you're also getting out of it is fudge. I really hate that synergy. Just throw it and die. Throw it and die. To make it have like a good value, given the event we just had and the 9.2 offer. The 9.2 offer was unexpected, to be honest. Yo, Robert. I was not expecting a rank 4 gem. Because I think the rank 4 gem honestly had really good value where we were at for 15,000 units. Yeah. Come on, just crits. Big boy crits. There we go. Nice. I ended up getting, and I went back and watched through, like skimmed through my vid from the Omega Days opening. I ended up getting pretty lucky from the Valiants. Obviously I opened like 150 in total or something stupid. And the last few I didn't, or the last quite a few, but like my first 100 were very, very good. I ended up getting 5 7-stars in total, 4 of them being like the featured of the crystal being the Omega Days champions. Two of them new and 2 of them were dupes on I already had. But 4 in total of that. So it was like really good. And then obviously the 3 guaranteed 7 stars, and then went far enough for the selector and all the SIGs and stuff. Such an obnoxious shock immune. This is annoying. You're also shock immune. Dude, literally, I can do nothing with Onslaught. This Onslaught is the worst option here for all of these things. So obnoxious. So we'll have to see what the total structure is. I obviously want a rank 4 out of it, but I also want the champions. And to get those champions specifically guaranteed, at least a number of them, like very specific and not available anywhere else, and a rank 4, I think I would drop all 30,000 units for all those champions and the rank 4 of one of them for sure. Even though just any rank 4 specifically, oh shoot, I knew that was gonna happen. That's too much for just a rank 4, but given everything else you get for it, so we'll just have to see how it's structured. Honestly, what they would have to do, because last time it was structured like Paragon and above. So Paragon and Valiant got the like the same track, and then everything else there was another lower track that people could get. That was like basically for lower progressions. But the only really way would, dude, I really hate that indestructible. That's stupid. Would make sense given where Valiants are at right now, and so they could at least put like a substantial bit of rank 3 stuff in there as well. They'd have to separate it out entirely. Paragons and Valiants cannot be on the same thing. I think that's one of the reasons why like 9.2 didn't have much in the way of doing rank 3 stuff. Like my personal thought on it, at least, as to why. Cred. Is because of the need for rank 3s for Valiant. Now that might not be true. Probably isn't, but that's just was my thought on it. Dude, you're obnoxious. But if they open it up to Paragons, because they still just need basically an easy through on Act and get, I feel like they need to lock it out of which is one reason why like it would have been nice to have like a new progression already, so they could lock out an event like this to the highest progression and Valiance, and then have it maybe be Paragon and lower or what have you, which still would suck for the lower progressions, but like that's what it would need to be for the higher progressions. What am I doing? I thought I was using Valkyrie for some stupid reason. Dude, why are you reaching that far, bro? Yeah. I mean, it'd have to be at least 5 rank 4s, to be honest. Given where we're at. I mean, I could have 4 right now if I had gotten the 9.2. And if I had enough units to do that and Omega Days, I would have. So, let's see. 6 rank 3s, T5, 1 T4, 5? You mean T7? And 3 rank 3 gems. Dang. So you spend a good bit then to get all that. Not like an unreasonable amount. Well, to me, be slightly unreasonable because I'm free to play, and that's people. The amount of money people spend on this game is obscene to me. But you know, the amount of money like their deals are set up for people to spend on any given thing, to me, feels like a lot. But Kabam themselves haven't, but like a couple people in the CCP, and Abdo including, as well as Usafa, has said that it will be set up like last year. It'll not be a key system. So it shouldn't be. Like I said, we'll find out Friday on the live stream, like all the details for sure. Ooh. Yeah, I saw that coming. Yeah, I ended up with everybody but Corvus last year. So I'm still missing Corvus. He has not been available in any other way. So I'm also hoping that this will mark the 1 year since the last event, that those 6 champions from last year's should hopefully be in the basic. They should get moved to the basic at this point. Like, and I feel like that's a good enough, because it'll also set the trend, because they're already kind of on that trend a little bit. When we got Banquet last year, like around that time, I don't know if it happened like just after that or during the event, the champions that were in the previous banquets, so 2023's banquet, the first that was the first banquet, because 2022 was still gifting, right? So the previous banquet, those champions that were exclusive to that banquet were added to the basic about a year after. So we should kind of already have precedent for these kind of like exclusives at the year mark. There's still other exclusives that haven't come back around any other meaningful way yet. Like that, we're still missing a couple, but I don't know what they're gonna do about those. Yeah, exactly. Hard to like exactly like the Omega Days. Yeah, exactly. There's not gonna be like a key system for like the guaranteed. So far, it seems to be Abdo. Welcome. Also, I was mentioning it earlier that I wanted to pose a question for Kabam that you could ask, that I don't know if they could confirm. What happens to any excess Dark Phoenix plume if you don't have enough for the entry to get the 7-star Phoenix, or excess of? So whatever, like if you're short of being able to get an initial, or if you have extra, if those will get like converted to 7-star shards and how much, etc. Since we're coming up on that. Because I imagine there's going to be people that miss some sources and are not going to have enough. Like, what's going to happen to all what they did collect? I would like to know. If they would let you know, that would be great. Because based on my calculations, I'm actually already in one of excess that I would need. Once I get all the other the plume from the free track for season 28, I will have one excess, and I won't need to buy any from the wow, freaking Abdo, you like it made it blip. It made it blip on me. Yeah, it didn't fully crap out. It just blipped slightly. Just lost a few frames. Uh, yeah. Like right after you said something, man. I think that was the first time I had any dropped frames in the hour and a half I've been going. Uh, totally jinxed it. It's funny. Anyway. Um, so let me actually, what would be 75 times 300? It would actually be a little bit in excess. Dang. So they wouldn't do that then, would they? So if it was 15 divided by 5 as an entry. If I had to take a guess, I would imagine they'd convert it each one to 200 7-star shards. Because that's 75. Dark Phoenix 75. That's a full 7-star. 15,000 shards is a 7-star. 75 times 200 is that amount of shards. But I wouldn't want to buy any excess unless they were from the Mysterium store, unless it converted to at least 300. I don't want to jeopardize the stream integrity. All right, man. I'll catch you later. Appreciate you dropping in. So if I had to guess, I would imagine a 20 or rather 200 rather conversion if they convert them. But I think that would be a nice thing to know. What happens to anything in excess? So I can determine. I mean, that's because that would only be an extra 1,000 shards if I were to spend 15,000 on those extra when it resets next month. Which, given that I spend 16,000 for the 1,000 shards already, would technically be better. But it's also a very minuscule amount of 7-star shards to buy any with that currency. Like, I'd almost rather just buy one of the smaller things and get something other than only 7-star shards. So, meh. All right, Zoe, we'll catch you. I will be here for a minute. I'll be here for a minute. We got other arena stuffs to run, as well as like I'm down for doing some friendlies. Victory track meta at least, because that's what my deck's set up for. So at the moment, once I hit the GC, then friendlies will be GC, but because then my deck will be set up for that. And that's how we roll. Come on, oh man. So we'll get through some more 6s. I just want to kind of knock out as much of this arena as I can. If I can knock out this whole arena today, I don't have to do it tomorrow at all. It is a nice shave. Feels good. Yeah, Heinz, I'm down for some victory track friendlies. So I've already done 3. I just finished my 3rd run of 4 stars. So yeah, so Whenever you get a free minute, we should be able to line it up. I want to get through at least a specific chunk of I want to get through at least 20 rounds minimum of the 6 stars. So it's only another 5 rounds. I'll be doing more than that of 6 stars, but I minimum want to go through 15. Another 20 rather. She's unawakened. I'd still say she's probably worth rank 3 unless you have other mutants that you would do better. Unless that's like also your only rank 3 you could do. But right now I could do multiple rank 3s of different classes. So I would personally take up Dazzler if I had a good opportunity to. But if that's like the only R3 you're capable of, but I still think even unawakened, she wouldn't be able to do the fights that you would need like the damage reflect for. So she like wouldn't be able to do Korgs. She could still do Korg actually, but you'd have to actually deal with the rock stacks. So she could technically still do Korgs. Wouldn't want to use her for Attuma though, because you need the dupe for Attuma. Take up anyone. Yeah. How many rank 3s do you have in total? That's like a good measure right now. Like total base hero rating doesn't matter at all anymore. Like it's just not a reasonable measure of account strength. It's like rank 3s, rank 4s right now. It's like that measure, or how many 7 stars do you have in total? You know, like is also a decent measure. Because you've got over 100 7 stars, you're probably likely to have a decent number of them ranked at least somewhat. So. Whammy! I think, what is my count at now? I can do like 6 more rank 3s. I've got 2 rank 4s, and I think 20, 25, 26 rank 3s. Something like that. So I actually have the capacity to have over 30 rank 3 pluses at this point. But one is still... Like, I still have some that don't wind up in decks. Like right now, because my Domino's unduped, even though she is rank 3, she's not making my deck this season at all. Unduped. If she was duped, she'd probably make it, but shoot. But because I haven't been able to pull her again, like she's kind of on the sidelines. Unless there's like a meta where I kind of want to use her offensively, and then she can just be like a dark horse unawakened sort of problem because she can do domino things still. Not like damage back domino things, but just invite whenever. Okay. 80 and 3 rank 3 games. Okay. So not as big as mine. Okay. So it's definitely not a bad option though still. Like she's just great overall damage, and she even unduped doesn't have quite the utility to do all the matchups she could do with the dupe. I don't think she needs the dupe for bullseye, so she still does bullseyes, as far as I know. Like realistically, I think the only thing you need her dupe for, champ-wise, relevantly, like a must-have would be Attuma. You want it for Korg, but she could do, if you just played around the rock stacks, she could still do Korgs. It would just be harder. Who else would have an annoying like damage back or whatever that for BGs or whatever that you'd want to have? Like there's also Killmongers but you can play around that as well, so that's not even a must-have for him either. I think it's just a Tuma that you actually need the dupe for, otherwise it's like actually a problem. Like obviously you want it for other fights too, just to make them easier, but yeah, I think I'd go ahead and do it still. Even on dupe. Let me double check exactly what her dupe does. Hold on a second. Dazzler. Let's see. During her hits, takes no physical damage and instead reflects it back as a burst of energy damage. Yeah, so it actually increase her damage output a little bit versus like Korg's, definitely Atuma's. And actually, I think she might need the pursuit to do bullseyes. So maybe she does need the dupe for bullseye too. Hold on, let me double check the rest of her kit. I don't know, because I haven't used her, I don't know exactly what all she can do without it. Hold on a second. Let's see. Builds up tempo, yada yada. Dazzling, falter. Builds up tempo, energy vulnerability. Yada yada. Okay, so she does actually kind of want it for bullseye too. I like that liner kit. She won't let anything cramp her style. She's immune to bad vibes and also nullify. Yeah, and that's only special 2 that resets her tempo, so. Special 3 is also kind of nice too. Dude, I really wanted a Dazzler from the stupid featured, man. She's quite nice. Werewolf to rank 2. Yeah, I'll probably get mine up to rank 2. I got him recently. I'll probably get at least to rank 2. I'll stay at rank 1 for now, because I don't have a particular use for him. Until he would go to like rank 3. Apart from like like another power shield meta, like he'd be usable at rank 1, so I would rank 2 him and have him in the deck. Be nice to finally have one for a power shield meta, but we likely won't have one of those for a while. So if we have a meta where he's like exceptionally just otherwise useful, that he would replace somebody else, I would go ahead and take him up. But right now, the next Mystic I need to worry about next couple is I need Shathra to go to rank 3. Rank 2, she's just not quite enough. And I need Kindred up as well for defense. So, yo, what's up, Zemo? Spring cleaning, I haven't gotten anything yet. But at the bare minimum, we'll be getting a champ we'll get a champ selector. Who I take from it is going to be Photon, unless I get Photon before the store ends. I'm waiting as long as possible, so we'll be digging a champ selector and then the deal 2, which is 2 alphas and a bunch of other catalysts. Rank 2640, nice. Thing is solid. Especially at high sig, like his protection is really annoying to deal with. If you don't have a counter, Thing is likely just a timeout, and you're not going to do much to him. His counters crush him pretty hard, so he's not like just a first pick like guaranteed take him because they would have too much a chance to take somebody that would crush him. But I do like him. Yo, what's up, Red Dog? Mod rank 3 though and null. Yeah, I don't mind Ma. My Ma is I think only rank 2 at the moment. I have too many mystics that I wouldn't mind going. Ma is one I wouldn't mind, but he's not like super immediate on my list. Science class is just uber broken. So and like he's not a bad attacker, but since he is mostly a defender and or would mostly be a defender for me, I could just doesn't work out. Come on, why am I having to fight this dude? Oh, I should have switched that up. I shouldn't be doing that. Oh, 100%. Ma is like, I think Kindred's the better defender usually, but I 100% would rather use Ma on offense than a Kindred. I do not like. I need to focus. I'm about to die. I'm going to die. Okay, well, there's nothing I can do about that anymore. Yeah, we're dead. I really hate Kindred as an attacker. I despise him wholeheartedly. I do not like him on attack whatsoever. He sucks. I hate him. He's no good. He just doesn't feel good to use at all. I don't like it. I don't like him. I love how the taunt, like they like never actually like throw their special. Like they just, I'm gonna block. Like it acts more like a freaking intimidate than it does a friggin' taunt. Yeah, I hate Kindred on attack with like a passion. I still hate okay. I still hate Enchantress on attack even more than Kindred probably. I can't stand Enchantress. And she's annoying as a defender. Crap. Oh, a heavy. No, not a special. Jerk face. Bruh, Abdo broke me. It all started with Abdo dropping in here. Stupid. The internet's totally fine though. Like my music isn't cutting out. Like it's literally actually OBS at the moment. Like my internet's fine. Yeah, I think this is like a problem like OBS or something. 'Cause usually before like it was actually the internet, like everything would just completely crap out. The game would stop, my internet would cut out, or like my music in my ears would cut out. All that jazz. So it's actually not a problem with the internet. The internet's totally fine. It's something else happening, which is why the stream isn't going to end. But it did lag a little bit, but it's not the internet. There is at least that. Okay, that time everything did disconnect. I don't know what's going on. That time everything did in fact disconnect, but it reconnected. That was weird. Come on. Drama. Ugh. Bruh.